right. Black Box Radio. We have Haki Ammi with us. Say hi to the people, bro.
Yes, good evening, good day, everybody. It's good to be back on Black Box. So I'm no stranger here, so it's just good to be back live.
Now, all family. All family. That's what you are.
Right.
So listen, tell the people what you do professionally so we can kind of unpack how that is being affected by this virus.
Well, certainly officially where I spend a good portion of my time, I serve in the Baltimore City Fire Department. I've been there for 15 years in diverse capacities as a firefighter, EMT. So I see it firsthand of sorts, in terms of, life on the streets of Baltimore and, just having some different types of trainings and, just hearing and experiencing, what people are going through at this time. Yeah.
So you have a very unique experience because you're a first responder.
Correct. Well, yes, right. Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right in the thick of everything.
Yes. Yeah. Well, with that, along with, just being an author and a speaker and serving on the Democratic State Central Committee, I'm now the treasurer of the whole Baltimore City Democratic Party. So as of 2-3 months ago. So, I'm getting a lot of different intel and involved in various different community aspects of life-saving operations. So I have a lot of different hats that I wear to really get a good assessment on the ground of what's happening. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let me ask then, since we are in Baltimore, right, and you are seeing this virus up close and personal.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you guys pulled all over the city? Are you feeling stressed out? I mean, firefighters, of course, you guys respond to fires, but paramedics,
right?
And usually when you call, the fire department's the first to come and then they'll leave. So are y'all feeling like it's been more busy, or what's going on? Like,
no, actually, what's interesting is wow. and sometimes many in Baltimore City and many jurisdictions they serve in a dual roles as paramedics as well. So actually last night I was actually detailed to serve in an ambulance capacity. So, but interestingly, I mean, many people think that we're, running a whole lot, but what's happening is in the city, many people are, self, quarantining themselves. They're not necessarily calling 911 for things that they know that generally speaking, they should go to their primary care doctor anyway, or they're really like dealing with it themselves. So and some people are just wise to know that hospitals are not.
Nobody want to go to no hospital, bro.
Yeah,
nah, I want to go to shorty.
Right. So and that's
I
a wise.
Really be half dead to go up in that jump.
Absolutely, and that's a wise thing to do in general, actually. So unfortunately, many people may not necessarily understand the whole dynamics of the 911 system and what the ER should be used for. And so that's, something that I've had to, listen to and experience, from a one-on-one perspective interacting with patients. And so, so I think generally, I mean, it's certainly been slower over the past few weeks, and I'm still waiting to, many people saying it's going to be A, B, and C happening. I'm still waiting to see that. I've been, really preparing myself physically and spiritually to ensure that I'm whole and safe and clean and healthy. So I just went into overdrive personally in terms of my self-awareness of, many different things, that we certainly as Black people need to know, but certainly as, first responders and people who work in a healthcare environment in general need to be aware of because this does affect many different people. So yes.
I think across the board when it comes to healthcare, we talked to some other healthcare and they're saying the same thing. And people just don't
Hmm.
want to be around what they know as a hospital because they know the hospital has everything in it. And COVID is there too.
Yes, yes. And so what we found is that, I mean, many, hospitals, that their nurses are like, I mean, many now they're dispatching other nurses from other departments to the ER to, in fact, get ready for what may could possibly happen. So,
Sure, the upsurge.
right. So
Yeah.
they're really getting prepared. Like I was at Hopkins last night, and it was like the ER bay, Johns Hopkins. That is, I mean, it's
Mhm.
unrecognizable. It's like a whole kind of space
We got a
operation
whole
going
new
on.
spot going
Yeah,
on over
right.
there.
So it's really, people are taking, this seriously, and I appreciate that. But certainly, and as I did my broadcast today, I was down Pennsylvania Avenue, and I saw just
Mhm.
people just walking around like, yeah, it's just a day off work, or same things going on. So many people aren't getting the message.
They just chilling. They on a bus
Yeah,
stop.
hanging around in groups. Yeah,
So
well, what's interesting, I mean, and we had my Senator Shirley Nathan Pulliam on a call with us earlier today. Well, she'll correct me. She's not a retired nurse. She still is a nurse, but she doesn't do much with that. But she's out
mhm.
there, and she's a retired senator, shall I say? But just understanding that certain areas in Baltimore, for instance, are hyper still segregated. And then there's the issues of other related issues. See, and what's happening, sister, and this is go into my consciousness and my independent study and understanding
Okay.
of what's going on, is that many of these, and I've heard some doctors actually online, saying that people are in the United States, people are being, I'm not going to say encouraged, but they're labeling some of the deaths as COVID, when some of these people, they already had high blood pressure, cancer. They were like kind of on their way out of sorts.
Mhm.
And in fact, it's still now, like if they putting people in these classifications, and
Mhm.
then they're not necessarily testing them, but it's like they get money to for having people in these classifications, and that's what I heard from some sources.
And it
And
says about 13 G's a corpse, right? That's what
yeah,
I'm hearing.
and so we
They
you
can
know we I say, I mean, and not to be on too far on the far end of being conspiracy person, but you have to, I mean, I'm not like a typical medical provider in the context of just listening and just accepting everything that's being said, because I understand, that there are many forces at stake with this, particularly being a Black person, understanding that,
mhm.
there's some economics involved with how things get rolled out. So
Sure.
we have to dig deeply, personally. And that's one thing I have done in terms of my research and listening to a lot of different sources that outside of the mainstream media, that you're not going to hear, and they don't want you to hear, and things that basic things that we certainly should be doing, that they're not going to necessarily promote, shall I say,
Mhm.
because it's not making people no massive amounts of money. And so we have to be very holistic but fair and reasonable. I don't want to jump on a far end and say, oh, ain't nothing going on, it's just all of it is fake. And although some of the numbers could be skewed, we need to
Mhm.
really, I say, take precautions, just because it is a fact that people are dying. I
Mhm.
do know of people who generally have been healthy, for instance, that got very, very sick. So
Mm-hmm.
so it is, very, very contagious is what I
Mm-hmm.
will say. And so we certainly need to, take the necessary precautions. So I just go hard, with my, um, misting various herbs, lemon and herbs, and,
Yep.
doing my
Me too.
smoothies and
Sucking them
breathing
sour stuff down
exercises.
your throat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cleaning your
Got
nose,
black
cleaning
seeds.
your throat, the
Yes,
bacteria,
I got black
just,
seeds in my throat
oh,
growing, bruh.
oh, beautiful.
You know,
Yeah, I
you,
had some tea like that.
you
Yeah,
know the
black
deal.
tea
You know,
tea.
we gotta herb it up.
Absolutely.
But we have a killer around us. That is the truth. The virus is that.
Mm-hmm.
And within anything around anything that comes in this country, they're gonna set up industry around it.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Right.
so you can have a conspiracy because there's nothing in this country that they will not set an industry on it.
Right.
Death has an industry, church has an industry.
Mm.
Everything in this country is under an industry. So
Mm-hmm.
even when
Mm-hmm.
we get this virus, they're going to set up industries around it so they can make money because everything with the power structure is about money.
Absolutely.
So we're
Absolutely.
clear that there might be some skewing of the numbers. There
Mm-hmm.
might be some little backdoor stuff going down because
Mm-hmm.
industry makes that happen. That want for the dollar always makes that corruption come in through the back door. So that might be
Mm-hmm.
happening, but we still got to be clear that this is a killer. It
Absolutely.
is it's
Absolutely.
a virus. It's here. It's present. It's among us. It's proliferating,
Right.
and we have
Right.
to be
Right.
mindful. And our behavior has to be. We have to adhere to these protocols until we can understand what we're around. That's just it.
Absolutely.
As people,
Mm-hmm.
but black folks like we. I don't know. We think we Teflon Don sometimes.
Well,
So you know
we
what I'm saying?
actually we are in many dynamics.
We
They
are
we
magical.
can't die.
Well, we
We
are magical.
multiply.
You're right. We definitely are magical, and everyone know we that type of people. We got it,
Right.
but this one we don't give a damn about none of that.
Oh,
It
amen.
will,
Amen. Yeah, that's
it
yeah,
will
shit.
kill you.
Yes, yes,
So
yes. So,
we just have to be
yeah.
really careful and take care of ourselves. And you too.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the front line. So you
Yeah.
VIP at the box. We gotta have you
No, I
here.
know. Yeah, I agree. I agree absolutely. And just recently, I was selected for the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus Foundation. Just actually a couple hours ago, I just got the email. So I'm gonna
Oh,
be on
excellent!
the board.
Congratulations. And what
Thank
does
you.
that entail?
So Maryland. So there's the Black Caucus, which is the state level. All the black
Mhm.
legislators on the state. They have a nonprofit underneath of the Black Caucus, which pretty much engages the community. It's like a liaison between the community and the Black Caucus. I mean, do fundraisers as well and other educational projects in terms of advocacy on behalf of the Black Caucus and create relationships.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. But I want to just encourage people with my short amount of time I have left. There are certain people out here that I'm looking at and gathering intel to ensure that we have to really just get different perspectives. And this is making me think more globally about global business and history and psychology and even poverty in the global uh, hierarchy, if you will, and ensuring that first and foremost, I'm not a victim of this oppressive system, and that's where we
Mhm.
have to be able to educate ourselves and focus in on smart people, smart conscious people that are exposing reality to our community.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yes, and congratulations on you. I see you. We watch your little political movements, bro. You moving right on through the politics. I see you. But we're at the last will and testament, and you leave like a jewel, a talent, something with the people, inspire them. Leave your jewel with the folks.
What I will say is that, I mean, viruses have happened throughout, human history. Um, I say each person's going to have to really grow up and educate themselves on what actually is going on totally in this world. I say just like 9/11, all of these, horrific shootings that are happening. You have elections of President Obama and then an election of Trump. I mean, if you're not becoming more awakened at this particular time, I would just say this is the time to get serious. This is the time to really create that consciousness, that shift. And sometimes we all need a teachable moment in time and in history that just kind of shocks us into a reality to want to evolve and transform ourselves. And so I say, make this not just a episode in your life, but a time to become a better brother, a better sister, a better human, to serve humanity and to seek truth and to stand on truth and to be a liberator of the minds of our people. So that's what I'll say.
Awesome. G.
Brother Haki, thank you. Thank you so much for coming through and sharing your unique perspective from several different aspects of what this city and what the whole region is doing through as we deal with this crisis. Right. We really appreciate that.
All right. Thank you both. Love y'all. Y'all keep up the good work.
And so if you're listening right now and you've enjoyed this conversation, you can find all of the conversations from the Rona Report, as well as all the conversations that we've had going all the way back to 9/19/19. Just visit blackboxradio.com. That's BLAKBOXXRADIO.com. And you can also find Black Box Radio on Instagram and Facebook at Black Box Radio, and on Twitter at BoxBlack. That's BOXXBLAK. So if you're hearing this, make sure that you share this conversation with your friends, your family, and other people in your network so everyone can get this great information coming from Black Box Radio during this time.
All right, we're in the Voices of the Rona Report. We just had Haki and me. Haki, you never disappoint. We really appreciate your input, and listen, be safe. You are a first responder. Take care of yourself, bro.
Thank you all, and peace, blessings to you all.
All right, so this is the Rona Report. It is 4/17. I was about to say 27. 4/17/20. This is Black Box Radio. We out. Peace.